your love and money stories during our February content theme, our February conversation when it comes to money and the typical ideas that you have to cover when you go over that with your partner, business partner, romantic partner, whatever it may be. So we're going to be going over that today. So very excited to have Eileen, Laurel, and Jenny on the call today. Laurel, how are we doing today, ma'am?
I'm good, and welcome. Again, we are back on Ask Laurel. We'll do some Q&A. Those of you who have any money issues, which all of you do. There is always something that we can help you with money. As we were talking with Jenny before, why to use the freest, cheapest money the government has ever given us. Like I got like, and Eileen, you know who I'm talking about. I mean, we're getting, once we get those 9 companies, that'll be over $1 million to go buy land. Like, the deal's hot right now, but also on taxes. There's a lot of people way overpaying taxes, not being entity structured properly, not putting money in the right bank account, not knowing how to make money. So those of you that are out in the chat, what is your top money question? Because I do want to make sure this is always on the Ask Laurel platform that we answer questions. But again, it's summarizing our love and money theme for this month. So we're going to do a few more stories as we get into our conversation. And Eileen, welcome. You've been with us this whole month. How has your love and money month been?
It's been fabulous. I have been talking to so many people about this topic, and it's amazing how many people don't talk to their partners about their money. It just shocks me. I mean, how do you function? How do you get through your weeks when you're not having that conversation?
They just guess.
Yeah.
They just guess, or they don't talk about it. You know, it was interesting too, and it's probably the biggest, I'd say, heartbreak, because I don't do this, you know, for tuition money. I do this for the bigger game, is how many people aren't playing the bigger game. I mean, Bitcoin's 46,000 plus as of last moment I checked. Real estate's going through the roof. Interest rates are low. This isn't going to stay. I mean, our lovely team in Washington, God forbid they strike some high interest rates. Your real estate deals are out of way. So probably the biggest thing, and I'm curious what you're seeing in the love and money contracts, like the basic little stuff, right? Like maybe they talk about the household expenses. I'm seeing some of that. But the thing that I'm not seeing, which is that, like to me, the key of the kingdom is the investments. They have no money rules, no plan to invest. It's like, I'm putting all my money into my business. No, that's a horrible money rule. I don't care if it's the beginning money. Some money always should go to new investments. Are you seeing that? I'm seeing, of all the patterns
Exactly.
in February, it's probably that one, not enough money is getting invested.
Well, I don't think a lot of people realize, and they should, especially if they're in this community, because we say it all the time, you have to take your money and invest it in areas that are going to give you a greater return, 10, 12, 15, 20%, if you can find that. That's fabulous. But you need to invest this money so that you then have more to be able to put it into your business. And a lot of people talk about wanting to just pay off their debt. Wrong way to do it. There's a particular way you need to move your money around so that it's working for you and not against you. It's just so important to understand this. And you talked about the money rules. You need to have rules going on. How are you going to handle your money?
Well, and the compounding power is so good right now. So we're going to take, this is our Tuesday wrap up of our love and money. And we're going to wrap up contracts. We're going to give some awards and then finish out this week. And Monday, can you believe it? It's already March 1st. So March 1st, I'll give a little insight. It's going to feel a little like December, January, where we talked about, you know, people who are doing resolutions versus commitments. So we're going to talk about being lucky versus intention. So that is going to be the theme. And everybody thinks that Laurel's going to sprinkle some, you know, pixie dust in this, you know, scenario. All of our graphics will be green, little star and dollar pixie dust. Because some people say, just magically make me money. Or, you know, my favorite excuses, you know, I'm not ready and I don't know, you know, my spouse, that is the biggest one. My spouse does, or somebody doesn't support me. It's like, make your own independent decisions. So March is going to be fun. We're going to have a lot of fun with those who think this whole money game is about luck versus intention. And I got some superstars lined up that are going to be coming on during that. So always expect you to be with us, Eileen. And we're going to wrap up our month of luck and intention at our big table in Reno, Nevada. Nevada just opened. We are, I think as of the end of last week, we are now 250 open for events. So super excited. So we are on an unlimited upside. The hotel is accommodating, and we've opened, we were first at 50 when we contracted, then we went to 100. Now we're at 250. So we expect a huge big table in March, followed by a real estate tour. Those of you, we are getting just some, you never know, this last 5 to 6 weeks. So here's what's cool about the table. And you don't even know, Eileen, but we are got brand new industry leading cryptocurrency. She's actually in Reno and been in our table for a decade. Who knew she was at the level of cryptocurrency? My God, is she like just kind of come back around. We reconnected out on a different social platform. So she's
I am so excited to hear that, Laurel, because in my mastermind with the big table, we will all be talking about, we all need to learn about cryptocurrency in a deeper level. So I'm so excited about that.
Well, and I told her, I said, you're going to do a couple levels. So those of you, if you've been going, should I come? Should I come? It's wide open. We've already done live events. No one's ever got sick. No one's ever got, anything happening. When we do the real estate tour, here's a little insight. We have one of the top real estate and real estate for cannabis lawyers who are going to become talking. We're going down to UNR, and we're going to talk about how do you buy and rehab college, like university housing for college campuses, and how do you do that on a national scale. And they're going to talk about how they did it in Reno, Nevada, next to UNR. And then super cool, Tesla's building this big parkway, and we're going to talk about how do you get into the food franchise. How do you buy Dutch Bros, big Burger King and Kentucky Fried Chicken. So just a little snippet, things are starting to spice up over here. And I can tell you, like, my daughter loves Dutch Bros. I got to buy some. I'm just going to have to be an investor. I'm going to have to say I own Dutch Brothers, and I just can't go to Starbucks anymore. I'm going to have to go there. So things are really spicing up over here on the Big Table Conversations, and it's a lifetime deal. So lots of fun new conversations that we are excited. The huge parkway, Risha, exactly. Very busy. It's called the US Parkway. Tesla is out there. We were going to take the bus tour out there, but they have locked the gates around it. And I mean, we could sit outside the gates of Tesla and this big parkway and this technical parkway and say, that's what it's going to be, but that's kind of boring. So we'll keep telling you as it's coming. And if you don't want to do any of it, but just come in for the real estate tour, you can just come in on the 30th and be with us all day the 31st and just come on the real estate side. So lots of options for March. So lucky versus intention is the theme. You'll see that coming out next week. So to wrap this up, before we get into the love and money, we want to introduce our winner of the last event. And we're super excited to have her and talk a little bit with Jenny. And so Jenny, congratulations, and come live and talk a little bit about what you sold at our last event. And well done, young lady.
Thank you so much for having me. And I love the live events, the marketplace. This is my third time coming, and I just love it. What I sold this time, I'm an expert at sales, and what I sold was a Kickstarter package where it includes masterclass in sales and why they buy book and coaching. So I sold 3 coaching packages for $5,000. So that kind of put me up to the top.
Awesome. And so I'm assuming now you're going to head to the graduate marketplace. We have another one starting this week, so you can't attend again. By the way, all of you that have attended, you cannot attend again. You need now go to the graduate one, which that's been building a lot. So maybe Thomas and Eileen, talk a little bit about the graduate marketplace. Starts Friday at 3:00. So for those of you who've made money, come back and make some more in the graduate marketplace.
Yeah, and what's great about that is we're doing this, 2 times a month. And when you come back, the Friday afternoons and the Saturdays have been absolutely amazing for a Saturday. I'm so surprised how many people show up. It's a beautiful thing. So it's definitely worth coming to that. And Laurel, is there still a special for that? or is that
There
pricing?
is an enormous special. So
Okay.
what's exciting is we have been doing this Love and Money where you download the contract 2 for $28. So for those of you who are just like, oh my God. So Thomas, if you want to put the 2 for $28, that's a steal. Normally it's 1 for $97. In fact, I'll be on a summit later this week. And we have a variety of things you get with each package. So obviously you don't get everything that a $97 buyer is going to get, but you're getting what's going to get you to the event successfully. So it's 2 for $28 right now in our Love and Money contract. So Thomas, if you want to download or put that link in,
Yep.
then get to the event. And if you can't come now, March 11th and 12th is our next big marketplace. So we're excited. We're going to continue our marketplace where people like Jenny get to make money. I want to come back to you, Jenny. What was your biggest learning? Like, let's just do, so talk about what did you learn? What was the best parts of the event for you?
This time I came with the intention of just serving. And what I learned was to listen more. And even though I love to sell, this time I didn't approach it as I'm going to sell you something. I came with the intention of how can I help you sell? And people just loved having conversations with me. So it felt like people wanted to buy from me, even though I wasn't really my usual sell, you know?
That's awesome. And so so what was your, tell us your ask, tell, ask. So how did you start your ask, tell, ask?
I'm an expert at sales and proven sales systems, and I can help you make more money. So then I ask, how are you doing in the marketplace? And then they tell me their story, and then I would coach them a little bit, and then they liked what I said. And one of the things that I came prepared because I read people. So the coaching is about personality profiling. So I looked up the folks that I was having conversations with to see what mattered to them the most, and that's the subject matter. What are their core values, and then I would speak to them about that.
And are you
in
doing
their language, so to speak?
And are the personality profiles, are you doing like DISC or some custom program? What's the kind
It's actually called BANK. BANK, the acronym is BANK, Blueprint, Action.
Sherry Tree
Yeah.
designed it. She is in our big table. She was one of my first millionaires. And most of her bank advisors are all in our big table, and that's how they became millionaires. So awesome. Super cool.
Yeah, she's amazing.
So so a couple of the principles that we teach are, the small tickets, right? So the deposits, the pre-orders, or the contracts. Did you get like 3 full pays in 5s, or did you end up doing payments on contracts? Just so everybody that's listening kind of hears there's a different way to make money. And I think a lot of people don't use all the avenues.
Well, I listened to you because you talked about the funnel, give them something small, right? It wasn't easy, yes. It was a $49.95 product, which gave them the ebook, Why They Buy, which is amazing. So if you don't have it, definitely go get it, and get it from me, of course. And then the other one is the master class, and you talked about love. So we have a master class on sales skills because you teach this, Laurel. You said if you don't know how to sell, you're not going to eat, right? So you need to learn how to sell. So one of the master classes in the offer is how to sell. The second one is how to build relationships. So this is so appropriate for what you're talking about this month, love and money. Because if without relationships, there's no sale, because it's all about people. Sales is about people, not numbers. It's about people.
Absolutely.
And if you know about people, what language they speak, then the sales just naturally come.
Awesome. Well, I just want to acknowledge and congratulate you. Eileen, any questions you want to ask Jenny?
No, I think it's fabulous what she was talking about earlier, how she approached, doing her ask, tell, ask, and how she was approaching people from a point of service, being of service to someone, because that's really what selling is all about. It's not sales, it's you're serving someone. So I really resonated with that, Jenny. I'm so glad that you do it that way.
Absolutely.
Thank you very much.
And thank you and congratulations. Hope to see you back at a graduate marketplace. Again, all of you, our graduate is every Friday of an event. We start at 3 o'clock. This one we're going to do a little different. I'm actually going to do a little interruption, and I want to take a little roll call, see who's all out there, Thomas, right? And I know I've got a real estate clubhouse. So I'll be bouncing between both of them. But I want to take a little roll call and really acknowledge the graduates that are coming back, because we have a brand new room. We're over 100 people ready for this next room coming in Thursday. And then again, all day Saturday. Like, make money, people. Like, there is just no way with this. I think the systems we put together, and like you said, Jenny, we tell you how to do it. Like, you got to be blind to not make money. So my next challenge for you is like, a $50,000 to $70,000 a month, Miss Jenny. There you go. There's your
Thank
challenge.
you.
All right.
Thank you.
So you are welcome to stay on, please, with us and connect and stay right here with us. But let's move back to our love and money stories. And then, Thomas, I know you and Andrew, Steve, the team back, at the office have selected some winners. But let's get to some other stories.
Yes. So had several stories that we talked about on the live stream last week, had some more come through this week that we wanted to highlight. And as with some of these stories, some of them, or a number of them, have the same themes. But wanted to talk with one that I think is the showcases a lot of what happens in relationships. Story is, money conversations have been very difficult for me in my 20 plus years in our relationship. Unconscious deference seems to operate best in keeping the peace. But with my passing of my parents in 2020, I have a renewed interest in learning how money works. And so part of what that speaks to is not only the psychology of what people deal with when it comes to their relationships with the spouses, but also, Laurel, as you say, those inherited money values that you get from your parents. So it's interesting in that story, and we had several like this, where you had some bad habits that may have been picked up from the parents and then exhibited and continued within their current relationship.
Yep. Well, and I think that's the challenge, is so many people. And when I say inherited, one second, I got to get some more light on my little subject. There we go. It's a little better. Most people are unconscious to it, right? I mean, what comes out of most people's mouths is, I can't afford it, which you can afford anything you want if you actually learn to make money. And there's no one that has been intentional that I've not been able to teach how to make money. Even homeless people that walked into my auditorium in Sydney, Australia. I'll never forget. How do I know he's homeless? He came in with his car. And my God, I had him making money because he needed to make money to come to my event. Like, there's not a person that is willing, kids, older, like, it doesn't matter. Like, you got to learn to make money and you got to have that intention. But what's interesting is like these inherited excuses, I'm going to call it, like, I can't afford it. I'm not ready. I don't have time. We all have the same damn clock. So there's no advantage I have on time than you. Well, the only advantage I have on time is I hire an enormous team. So I get more done because I got a lot more hands on projects. And you say, well, I don't have the money to do it. Make some money. It's interesting. Eileen and Thomas, some people really want makeovers, and Jenny, you'd appreciate this too. I think she saw it there, is a lot of people say, I want to make money. And it's like, you know what, or I want a money makeover. I'm sorry. That's what they'll say. They want a money makeover. And I'll say, well, here's your makeover. Go make money. Get back to the marketplace. Like, there is nothing to make over. There's no tax. Maybe you need an entity. You probably need to fix your credit. Like, there's some little pieces, but some of you, like, you're really, I'm not going to say like broken, but you got to get the basics fixed. I mean, there is so much going on right now in the investment world. It is so exciting what's going on out here. So many opportunities. I can't wait till the end of March. Like, that's just a whole asset class that I've never owned. Dutch Brothers and Burger King and Kentucky Fried Chicken. Like, why not? Mutual funds and bonds are scary parts. So I think the inherited excuses are as bad as the inherited behavior, because just like this person said, like keeping the peace is not a money rule. Eileen, how would you speak to that? And I get it. Like, I grew up in the family of like, keep the peace. Let's just not talk about it, and then we'll all be okay. But there's no conscious choices, which means nothing really happens.
Exactly. Avoidance is not the answer, because then you're still going to have the same problem month after month, year after year. So why not make the commitment and make the decision to have the conversations now? It drives me crazy when I talk to someone and they tell me they want to change things and then they don't do anything about it. It's like, what are you thinking? It's not going to change on its own. And it didn't take an overnight success or overnight time for you to get to the position you're in. It's not going to happen overnight. You have to make the commitment, be steadfast in what you want to do, and believe that it's going to happen. Because that's one of my biggest challenges when I talk with my clients, or when I'm just talking with people at networking events, is yes, they say they want to make more money and they want to learn how to do this and they want to do that, but then they're not willing to invest in themselves to be able to make it happen. That kind of thinking just never made sense to me.
Well, and I think the last piece of advice, and again, a lot of you have heard this, is, Jenny, you said it's not about the money, it's about the people, and it is about the money. I'm going to add an and to that. So yes, it's about the people, and yes, it's about serving the people. And if you don't have money to put to work and invest in new assets, especially in this market, you're missing it. Like we want you motivated. If you really know through the work and read the books and really understand the philosophy, we are more interested in teaching you money rules and investing and tax strategies and legacy planning than this make money stuff. This make money stuff is necessary because a lot of you don't have money to put to work into these bigger assets. And
Right.
I met with, somebody this morning, huge $28 million, revitalization program. And you know what? We're going to go into $28 million of debt. And we were laughing. We're actually going to do a clubhouse, it's sort of the fat and skinny thing. Some of you say you want to make money and get rich, but you want to be debt free. They don't go together. It's like, do you want to be fat or skinny? You don't get to be both. Not if you're really real, not if you actually understand money. If you want to do it in a very long, slow, odd way, like why would you put the rest of your money to work? I mean, our bigger conversation is where should we put our money? Because we're using everybody else's.
Exactly. If there's SBA loans.
Right. And it's not about going into debt when you go get those SBA loans. Right. So I just want to, correct that. I know, Jenny, we talked a little bit about that. It is about investing. It is like free money for a year, and it is so available and so smart to go get. And even then, for a lot of you, Marlon, I'm sorry. The key is fake money. It's not fake money, but it is like Monopoly. It's just other people's.
Exactly.
It's just like other people's. But literally, there was money that is so available, and it's not about you needing to know what to do. There's enough people around our community that know what to do, and will partner with you in a minute if you have that kind of money to do it. So, if you want the SBA loans, again, call into our office, talk to our strategist, and we will get you the help that you need. All right. So again, Thomas, if you want to put in Molly, the main office number, and we will get you some help as fast as we can, because it is available. So let's go. More love and money stories.
So another story that we have is we had someone who said, my husband and I have always struggled with money. Our finances never seem to be quite enough to live comfortably. I'm looking to start a business as my husband is an MLM for CBD products. He's also an aspiring photographer.
Well, so what's the question? That's a comment.
Yeah.
So we have to teach people a little more about that. So what I would say is your husband's sitting on two gold mines. I don't know what you'd want to start for your business, but I would say for both of you, for $28, give yourself a gift. Go get the 28, the 2 for 28. And here, I'll just give you what your husband should be doing in the photography world. Is your husband should be doing headshots, new Zoom headshots for all these CEOs that we're starting. See, what's interesting is a lot of you don't see yourself as an owner, as a CEO. So there's a whole psychology and leadership that we've got to eventually put around you so you see yourself differently, which is bigger than you think. We don't start with that. There's some people who start with that whole thinking stuff. I don't. I want your pockets lined with cash. Then we get going to other things. But as photographer, could do photo shoots for everybody, teach them how to do the right Zoom, from backgrounds to makeup to clothing, all that kind of stuff. A photographer can do that. On the CBD side, you're going to sell that all day long. If you don't have a Shopify store, some kind of quick store. The challenge that I would say, and I do want to give a little tip here, is sending people back to Amazon isn't serving your checkbook. I can tell you that. Not with the fees and the amount of stuff that they're taking out of it right now. It's a nice, we talked about it. Actually, I had a meeting with some of our folks yesterday about getting ours tidied up. But I don't want to put a ton of my sales through Amazon. They'll take tons and tons and tons and tons of my revenue, and I don't get the buyers. So I'm not saying don't do it, but a lot of you, Like, you got to get your stores ready to make money. And then the person who asked the question, I mean, this is a great event. And by the way, if you're signing up as a family, a couple, or a business partnership, you tell us, like when you call in, you're going to talk to Lavelle, Molly, or Kristen to get you ready to come to the event. Let them know if you want to be in the room with them or not in the room with them. And Eileen, I'd love you to weigh in on that, because there's some of you who I'd put you in the room to influence each other. And this part of you, I'd keep you separate for a while so we can actually fix you a little bit and get you coming back together with a healthier conversation.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. The separate rooms for families to begin in the conversations, because it gives you an opportunity to hear what other people other than your family members are talking about and doing. And it kind of gets you a little bit more relaxed.
Yep.
So that's definitely a great idea to do that.
Yep. All right, another story or question.
Another story. Brian says, after 35 years as a field service engineer for a medical device company, my job was downsized after the company was bought out. That was near the end of 2012. At the same time, my dad was in his mid-80s, and I had to help take care of him at the same time. So that was his story. But Laurel, one of the things I love that you talk about during the workshop is the security of having a job. And I think that story speaks to that immeasurably. So would love to have you speak to that.
Well, I would think that COVID kind of woke the world up. I was hoping that 2008, 9, and 10 would have woke the world up to why the heck you need to be an entrepreneur and not an employee, is your job can go like that. But 2020 was a wake-up call. Some people didn't get the memo because they chose to do unemployment. And then, I got to tell the story, like, because Thomas, you were on with Tom, right? Our franchise,
Yep.
academy.
Yep.
We need to get him closer in our world. I love that. That was a great interview. But he was saying how people are like, calling him about getting a franchise because they love the freedom. And when you really dug into it, they didn't have freedom. They were sitting on unemployment. I said, that's lazy. So
Right.
Sorry if you had to go have it. I mean, there's a difference between you need it because you needed to bridge and living it as a lifestyle. And there's a lot of people living it as a lifestyle. So that's my, thing about it. But an employee, in certain situations, some people we would say that are, 2-3 years from a huge, like especially military or some big pension or some lifetime benefit, every person's different. So I'm not saying across the board you shouldn't be one. And I'm an employee for my own company. And I was an employee for a minute with Chevron. But for most people, your freedom is in your entrepreneurial ventures. It's in your ability to make money anywhere you live and put that money to work into projects, because you have this thing right here called a connection Rolodex. And why do people join our community? They join for this. This little device that I have is extremely connected to 1 degree of separation. So you want close to this little thing called my Rolodex or other people's money, or, how we know what we know, you get close, right? You don't stand afar and say, oh, I'm going to, I always liken it to a sports event, right? You need to get on the playing field. You can't learn what we do from the bleacher seats. So the bleacher seats aren't going to get you there. You need to commit and get close and learn really how things get done. But that employee, I don't know. I mean, what do you want to which part would you like me to talk about?
Well, I think that the big piece that you always talk about is the fact that you have a job does not offer job security. And the fact that you think you have that job, doesn't really count, provide anything for you. And so even if it's something as base as, walking dog or mowing lawns, whatever hustle you have to start off with to make that money, being able to be entrepreneurial is the real survival skill versus having that job. So with some of the folks in here, a lot of their money stories were based on the fact that they lost a job or they lost that security that they thought they had.
Well, and here's what I want you, here's the transfer of security. I'd say it this way. You're going to transfer your security from working for someone else's paycheck and their wealth to working for your own. So your security is in yourself. So a lot of times when people make decisions to join our community or be around us, I mean, you got to come confident. So a lot of times you don't. So then, just like Bob Proctor taught me, you believe in other people until they believe in themselves. I mean, Eileen's a great example of that, didn't you know?
I am.
Believing in yourself to just coming with that confidence. I mean, you want security, trust yourself to perform, trust your abilities to serve another life. right? I mean, we know our money stuff works, right? Are we perfect? No, but you know what? If anything happens, we say, you know what, let's just reset on that little piece. Let's go again, because we do know how to do it. We got teams for 25 years that have done this. So what would you say, Eileen? I mean,
Well, I just want to share my journey. Okay, so I was an employee back in 2012 when I started my business. And I worked as a full-time employee in a very fast-paced environment till 2017, when I finally said, that's it. I no longer want to be working for someone else. I work very hard, a lot of hours, little money. So the journey for me from 2017, when I left my career that I was in at the time and picked up and just ran with the business, found the mentors that I need, Laurel being one of them, got the people in my life that helped me to build my business. And it allowed me to be able to go away for a week to Phoenix on my business retreat. So I could work anywhere that I want to work. I still may be working a lot, but it's for me and my family. And what better position to be in? And that's where the security comes for me, is being able to make things happen, serve my community, serve my clients. And I got to tell you, it's much more rewarding than being in that job.
Yep. Well, and you have a lifetime community to grow for you and your family and, you know, what you're doing. All right, Thomas, is there another one, or do we want to announce one? Let's do one more and then announce winner.
All right, so we have, we'll do three more. Our runner-up was Mike Dill, who talked about his story of his life. My wife and I could never agree on things when it came to money, mainly because we could never talk about money without having strong emotional attachments, meaning, you know, who's spending it, who's saving it, where to grow wealth and legacy. With Laurel's guidance, we were able to create our money rules and now reach a level of security that allows us peace of mind, including cash flow, investments, and family legacy. So got that story in there, wanted to make sure we shared that. So a fun runner-up one there. But one more before we announce the winner for the prize that we have talked about. This was, let me see here real quick. A gentleman says, I have my own training and coaching company, but I'm not making the money I want and I don't know how to monetize it. What would you do first?
Say that one more time.
I have my own training and coaching company and I'm not making the money I want to make. What would you look at or change first?
Your marketing and sales isn't working. I know how to grow an 8-figure coaching, training, any of those kind of companies. So your funnels online aren't working, or you don't have them. You don't have a database. I'll just point to a bunch of obvious places. Your URL and opt-ins aren't working. Your social media is probably not working. You're so lead gen, you're not getting enough leads. And probably most importantly, those of you, because here's what I do believe, and we started this a few months ago in our marketplace right here, is enough of a database that you have enough people right here. So then what does it really get down to? You're not doing an ask, tell, ask. You're not getting on the phone and listening for what someone else needs, right? Immediately transferring that into an offer that you can serve and support them on the thing they need and asking for the money. So typically people aren't making money, or you're not getting that. And what's disappointing is, like, this isn't a time, like in this situation, if you already have a training coaching company, you don't go start a side hustle. That is not what you need. That's just another distraction. You get this thing working, and this things could work. So I'm not sure if he has come to our marketplace event, but any of you that are in those categories, I mean, we teach you exactly what to do. And most reason why most people aren't making enough money is they don't ask. Eileen, how would you add to that?
And it goes back to the confidence of what you're doing. How confident are you in yourself, and how clear are you on your messaging that you're putting out there to be able to get those leads? And like you know, to your point, the lead gen is just not there. The marketing, what's the content of that marketing? How are you attracting the people that you want to attract?
Yep, absolutely. So is Mike on, by the way, since we acknowledged him as the runner-up?
We tried to reach out to Mike. He didn't pick up. I don't know if he's in the attendee list there. We don't see him on there, but we wanted to acknowledge him. But if we want to, Laurel, we can go ahead and announce the winner if you're ready to move forward with that story.
Announce the winner. Let's rock and roll.
Perfect. So the winner of the Love and Money story, best one we had, was Renee Ray J. Johnson. Her story is, I'm the owner of an internet radio station. I started with 4 partners in 2017, and let's just say that either of them walked away or I had to fire them for stealing. I am still running the station, but as an army of one, and I've now lost income from even my former husband because we didn't start the business the right way. So more of a story than a question on that one. And I know that was such a good one. We talked about it last week, but Laurel goes into that mindset of how you properly start a business, as you spoke last week, with the operating agreement, the contracts, and so on and so forth.
Yep. Well, and again, it was so interesting talking to this $28 million deal. I mean, we were both, I said, what's going to have us, I just kind of threw out there to see, well, first of all, people with money, the first questions you should always ask in due diligence with people with money looking for money is, why are they looking for money? And there is only a few answers that I will only reveal at the big table, because there are very specific answers. Because outside of that, if you don't want to know that one, that's worth. And he was so funny. He answered exactly like I would answer. And I said, I would expected those 3 answers. Like, one of 3 reasons why you're out here shopping for other people's money, not using your own. And he answered exactly. And I said, well, how would we have you stop dating? And he said, well, we're going to go on about a month of a date, and then we're going to get married. I died laughing because I was with somebody else from the big table. And I said, and then we're going to design our divorce while we're in love. We all just died because we're all using that same vernacular. We're using the exact same conversation. And the prenuptial in business is called an operating agreement. And so you start with an LOI, letter of intent to do business. So we are the capital raising partners upon us dating for a little while longer. So we're what did he say? He said, we're going steady. And if we were in high school, I'd give you a little, promise ring. I said, perfect. I mean, just so you know, like, it was so profound. Like, I was dying laughing. Well, it's John, just so you know, Eileen, so you can put a face to that conversation. It was early morning. We were dying laughing because I knew we had this love and money conversation, and you couldn't have scripted that damn thing. This was somebody who's probably worth, I don't know how many hundreds of millions. Right. He said last quarter he took a $50 million distribution or something like that. So, I mean, this guy doesn't need us at all. And it's like, well, why would you pick us? And we had the dating conversation. I thought it was hysterical. And we were in the same vernacular of prenups. And, our prenup is called an operating agreement. You have buy-sell agreements. And all of that will help Ray J never get in that situation again. So I'm hoping Ray J, is she already in the big table? She's got to join us there. And again, it's a lifetime deal for you and your family. And you say, well, I don't have a family. Well, you'll get one. They'll come along. Or you're going to, form some partnerships with people. But you want to be in the same conversation. And that was actually part of that conversation as well, is, the kind of money that comes along needs to be educated and had been tested. Like, nobody wants first investors who we don't know how they behave. So super excited with Ray J. So Thomas, remind everybody what Ray J gets for winning and what Mike gets for runner-up.
So Ray J gets the money makeover that was part of the Love and Money contest that we had done up. You go to AskLoral.com/mystory. You still have the ability to sign up, submit your story, and we're actually running this promotion an extra couple of weeks because we had a lot of fun seeing some of the stories, but also wanted to just continue on with it. So there's still opportunities for some follow-up prizes that we will announce later. So Ray J, our team will be reaching out to you. We tried to get you on the call today. You were had a prior commitment, so we're going to be reaching out to you to schedule that makeover. And then for those of you who go to AskLoral.com/mystory, you still have the opportunity to fill out and get a follow-up prize. Mike, as runner-up, we wanted to give you a big thumbs up and a big thank you for what it is you did and what it is you shared. And we will have the team reach out to you about a potential workshop ticket at the same time. So that's what we have for the prizes. Oh, go ahead, Laura.
I want to give a couple. So if Ray J and Mike haven't been to the event, let's give them some free tickets to the event with to be there. And then if they've already been to the event, let's gift them some
Yep.
money towards their
Ray J has been to the event, so I know that she was there. So we'll definitely get her hooked up accordingly with the team.
Yep, let's get to the graduate marketplace. So our goal is to get, like, the vision of the graduate marketplace is, and now that we're at 250, is to put on, can you imagine a live marketplace where you all get to walk around like human to human?
I remember those. They are so much fun. I miss those.
Because, I mean, I can tell what it is, but what do you remember the most? Like, it is the most fun workshop that anyone has ever said they've ever been to, because you're all.
So here was my favorite part of the last one that I was at, and Randy Tate directed this for us. So in order to break the ice and to meet other people in the room, you had to wear a sign, and the sign had to be something that would entice the person reading your sign to come and talk with you. So it was a nice icebreaker. It was a lot of fun. Everybody, there was several hundred people in that room. Everybody loved that part because, of course, we all talk afterwards. That was like one of my favorite things. But learning, just the learning that you get, it is just, and being with the people. You know me, Laurel, I'm a people person. I'm a hugger. I need to be around people. I need to love on them. So it's just the whole thing. But now to transition into the online, I am in awe of how we do it. It is, and I attend a lot of online events, and I got to tell you, this marketplace has been phenomenal. When we started it in April of last year, I attended everything. I think I've missed just one event. We won't do that again, but it's just amazing what the people get out of these events.
Yeah. And to build on that, Eileen, what's been really nice with the graduate marketplace, people come back for that Friday afternoon and that Saturday session. Those numbers are getting bigger each and every time. And our goal is that, we are going to have a sustainable economy within the community, within the group, such that you are making money during those sessions and being able to fulfill people come back and just continue to grow your business. It's a great opportunity for new event attendees to meet someone in the community that those people who are attending the event, but also likewise existing community members being able to meet new workshop attendees, tell them a little bit more about the community, and also talk about why they're in it for the long haul and long term. So it's a great opportunity. I love those Friday nights and Saturdays. Love seeing the numbers grow and love seeing the success like Jenny and some of our winners have had selling and being becoming a part of the community.
Well, and here's what's different. Right, is when I'm in the room, I don't leave the room. I'm not one of those people who just puts on a room and goes to the green room and just hangs out with people out there, right?
Exactly.
I'm usually behind you listening to what you say. And when you say something ridiculous, I get in your face, essentially turn around and say, like, that's not going to work. And then I whisper behind, my name is, I'm an expert in. And I say exactly what I say. And then I'll say, ask for the money. And then they, either cry or break down or ask for the money, do whatever they do. So you don't really, unless you walk out of the room, which then we start getting big bodyguards in front of the room. So the only way you don't make money when you're physically with me in a room is you chicken out and you leave. Right.
Right.
So, because it's going to happen, I'll force it to happen, because then you don't get any excuses. Like when we go back to, and I'll kind of wrap, our time with this inherited behavior, it's shocking where, here's another excuse I hear is that if you actually sold something, you actually have to deliver. Oh my God, you actually have to become a damn entrepreneur. It's amazing how many people just walk around as a pseudo entrepreneur selling a whole bunch of, saying they have a whole bunch of stuff, but actually aren't doing anything, right? And so the reason you don't want to sell is because you actually got to get now you got to get out of the bleacher stands. You got to get to the playing field. Now you have to deliver. Now you have to have accounting. Now you have to have what it takes to really be an entrepreneur. There's a lot of pseudo entrepreneurs. I call them, those solopreneurs out there, and just don't be those people.
Well, the beauty of the marketplace, though, is we're actually telling you how to do it.
I mean, we couldn't
step by step.
Yeah, right. Absolutely. So again, Ray J, congratulations. Mike, congratulations. We'll make sure we get some extra bonus gifts out to you. And, Thomas will just follow up with, what they have got and what they might need as a bonus and a gift. And again, Jenny, congratulations. Please call our people back. Sharon has been calling you please check your direct message. By the way, I direct message several of you, and out of respect to our team and their time, and just give our teams a listen. Again, the love and money is not going to go away. It's just too fun of a campaign, and we're going to keep it going. And it's such a different conversation that it doesn't need to go down when we bring up on March, beginning of March, our lucky, right? St. Patty's Day. Are you lucky or are you intentional?
Intentional.
And we're going to have a big walk and a big talk about the differences. And it's going to sound similar to resolutions and commitments. Might have a few themes in there. And then we're going to have a fun pay it forward social contest. Not sure what the winning person's going to get yet. You know, if I knew they'd travel, I'd love to see them on March 31st. It is a real estate tour that, and it's not a pitch tour. It's not an investment tour. No one's going to ask you for any money. It is going to be the most diverse education. We're probably going to go out and see, you know, I can't tell you some of the things until I have it, but we're looking at manufacturing plants. I mean, remember, Reno is just like Boise, right behind it, very booming town. We got Tesla, we got Google, we got Microsoft. Everybody's moving out of those lovely 3 horrible Western states that I used to love to visit. Still love their coastline, can't stand their politics. But I mean, Washington's moving, Oregon's moving, California's moving, and Nevada, like Nevada does, it gives massive tax incentives and land incentives for taxes for those companies to move over here. So huge incentives are happening, like 5-year no taxes. I mean, bonds, city bonds, they're getting so much money to move here. So it's a cool place to see from a very different perspective. And 2 big ones I cannot wait to hear personally about, because I haven't done these two. I've done some of my own, like student housing for my own, you know, small agenda, but how to really build a big agenda around a university and get that kind of housing. And then, you know, my Dutch brothers. So, my Dutch bros, even though I can't drink caffeine. My daughter asked me the other day, Mom, why do you drink fake coffee? I said, it's just a ritual. It's why I have fake beer now. It's just a ritual.
We do what we do, right?
It's going to be fun. End of the month. So I think we're going to give away. If I knew you travel, I was going to say, you know, maybe the lucky winner will get some real estate tours headed here to Reno or to Boise. So we're going to come up with that. Stay tuned. Again, congratulations to amazing folks. Jenny, again, congratulations to winning and getting out here. And thanks for acknowledging. Please just call Sharon. And Ray J. And I really want to help, like any of you that have been burned by people, God, don't be those people who then stand in the corner. If you've been burned in 2008, 9, or 10 or COVID, don't be the people that got hit and then stand still and say, I just can't go again. It's sad. So many people get burned by a partner or whatever the hell happened to you. And then you stand still and you don't go again. You got to go again.
You got to surround yourself with the right people who are going to help you move in.
So what? Now what?
Yeah, exactly.
So critical. And Scott and I love operating agreement conversations because we'll ask the hard questions. A lot of people don't ask, and they are so critical that you get those operating agreements done. And then you go make a lot of money and put it in the right bank account. What a novel concept. So again, Thomas, anything else? We're heading into our marketplace this week. This will be our 4th already of 2021, graduate marketplace on the 26th. A lot of fun stuff going on around here. So stay tuned.
Yep. So if you've not yet attended the Millionaire Maker Meetup and Marketplace, go to askroll.com/mystory. You'll be able to get that special ticket pricing that we talked about earlier. Put that link several times in the chat box. You just click on that below. You'll be able to attend. And we look forward to seeing you this week. Going to have a great event. Going to help change a lot of folks' conversations about money, help them make a lot of money, and move them forward towards building their wealth plan. So again, askloral.com/mystory. Would love to see everyone there if you've not yet attended. And if you have, go on to askloral.com/lifetime. Get access to the graduate marketplace in its entirety for the rest of the year and beyond. And we would love to see you on those marketplace sessions as well too.
Absolutely. So thank you. And again, as we move through March, I can just tell you like that we're going to do real Ask Lorals. So you got to come with questions. So, you know, there's a lot of questions that are out at Ask Loral. We want to be here. We want to ask them live and bring you live because we get more context. When we just read the question, we kind of assume some of the questions. So some of them, they're not going to be pure makeovers, but ask a question and then we're going to dig in. I do have to acknowledge Ron on creating a fund. Call me. I have a different idea for you that'll go faster. So want to do a real estate fund. Those of you in the big table, 4 o'clock, do not miss it. We have laser call today. And also Thursday night, 7:15 is after hours, right?
Yes.
Our evening fun. And
Pacific Standard Time.
I know, I do have to say though, Canadians that are out there, March 4th, which is next Thursday at 12 noon is your Canadian financial expert team call that we have been promising you. It took a little while for us to get the team together. So 12 noon Pacific, March 4th. So Thomas, if you'd help, we got to get some emails out to the whole Canadian database that you will meet our team of some 3 or 4 of the Canadian experts that you have been begging for, and we will have them live to answer Canadian questions. And then another thing we're going to do probably in the summer, which is their winter, is we really owe it to our Australian database to put on an Australian marketplace, which means we wouldn't start at 10 in the morning. We'll probably start about 3 or 4 in the afternoon and go through the night, our time, in honor of our amazing Australian and New Zealand database. And those of you, again, in America, you're going to want to be there to help. Australian Aussies are awesome. They are so much fun to be with. And we're going to have to, I don't know, that'll be an interesting one to prepare for. So we got a lot of fun going on this year in 2021 as we come throughout the year. So Eileen, thank you as always, dear lady. Thomas, thank you. Jenny, congratulations. Ray J and Mike, congratulations. You all have a great day. Get those contracts done and get them in. If you really need help filling them out, that's why we have coaches. So the lowest kind of easy way to do an acceleration, we'll just call it 11 money. Well, first of all, you can work with Eileen and John. You work with them. That actually is your best deal. So Eileen, before we roll, explain what that deal is, because I was going to say our acceleration company, but you got a better deal than we even have going right now.
So we have a money date night program. We've been doing this all of February, and it's so that you and your loved one, your partner in life, can have a conversation, to be very respectful and be very playful with it. But we're going to be talking about your money. There's one partner that may resist. We're not going to let that happen to you. You've already are going to have a money contract. You're going to have a commitment, a consensual agreement that you're going to sign off on. You're going to agree to having this date night happen for you. And Laurel, did you want me to talk about the course itself?
Just put in the link to go find you.
Will do.
Yeah. Perfect. Thanks, you guys. Stay tuned. Just put it in your phone. Make it ring a little bell at 11:58 every Tuesday, Pacific Standard Time. It goes ding, ding, go talk and ask a money question. So never should your week go by without some help, especially in this economy and the ever-changing environment that we're in. There we go. And we'll talk soon. Take care of you all. Have an amazing Tuesday. Bye.
Bye, everyone.